Hello everybody and welcome to your chair yoga class. This session is designed to be done in a chair. If you have one without any sides, that's ideal. And if you have one with a firm straight back, that's really what we need. Anything that makes you kind of collapse or slouch down isn't advisable for this kind of practice. Before we begin, I just want to point out a few things. If the exercises are challenging for you or cause any discomfort or pain, please stop what you're doing and maybe seek some medical advice. This practice is designed to be a gentle practice to mobilize various joints in the body and get the fluid flowing, get energy flowing, mobilize the spine, and generally help you feel good. Even if you're mobile, it can be very useful to practice in a chair. It's actually amazing to me the amount we can do using the support of a chair, because we can manipulate the spine and move the spine in many different ways. If your feet don't touch the ground, I know you can't see on my screen, but my feet don't touch the ground. So I have 2 blocks to place on the ground so that my feet can be placed flat on the blocks. You may not have blocks at home, so you can use thick books, something like that. But the main thing is that your feet can be in connection, in contact with something solid, and so that the feet can open out fully into the props or into the ground. So we're going to begin by finding our seat, as it were. So sitting up straight. So you can see I'm making a few minor adjustments here to how I'm sitting. I'm locating my sitting bones and I'm wanting them to connect with the seat. And so they're connecting downward into the ground, if you like. So we're using gravity to help us feel a bit more rooted, grounded, and connected. So there's this rooting down in the lower part of the body, and then there's a rising up and an opening in the upper part of the body. So I'm rooting down from about the mid-waist downward, but I'm also opening up in the front of the body and the back of the body. So we're really releasing the spine here. And the pelvis, there's a sense of the pelvis widening so that there's more space for the spine to lift up and out of this pelvic region. So we want the spine to feel long from the tailbone all the way up through to the crown of the head. So we want to have this sense of elongation and length. The sides of the body, we would like them to feel long and to be open. So we want the front of the body to be open. So the sides of the body are supporting us and allowing the front of the body and the back of the body to be open equally. This allows space for the lungs, space for the heart in the front and again in the back of the body. So when we have space for the lungs, we can breathe fully and deeply. And this is what makes us feel much, much better, mentally and physically, being able to take full and deep breaths. Our collarbones here are wide and open. The back of the neck feels long. So in order to get this length in the back of the neck, we may have to tilt ever so slightly the chin toward the chest. So we're not bringing it right down. We're just tilting it slightly. It'll be different for everybody. We just want to have a little length in the back of the neck. Good. So we're feeling this connection between the ground as we lift up toward the ceiling, up toward the sky. And from here, we're just going to lift our feet off the ground, or we're going to remove my socks. You can leave yours on if you like. And we're lifting the feet and we're just beginning to rotate the ankles. So we're just taking the feet into the air, and we're just making circles with our ankles. So I started in one direction, and now I'm going to reverse and move in the opposite direction. So we're starting to wake up the ankle joints, and they need to be moved in this way in order to strengthen them, and also to get all the fluids moving, to mobilize them. Okay, and just releasing feet back down. And we can do the same thing with our wrists now. So we're just going to move the wrists in circles, gentle circles. If you like, you can bring your thumbs into your palms and cover your thumbs with your fingers gently, and continue on like this. And remembering to reverse the movements. And from here, we're going to bring our focus into the hip joints now. So I'm going to mirror you. I'm going to lift the left leg and just create this circular movement. Now, it looks like mainly that the knee is moving, but really we're wanting the thigh bone to be moving within the hip socket. So doing the same thing as we've done with the ankles and the wrists, we're creating circles, and I'm making sure I reverse the circles to make sure I've done them on both sides. And coming back to center, taking a moment to centralize yourself, and then we do the same thing on the other side. So moving the right knee and taking the action right into the hip. So they can be large or small, so depending on what you need. So this is an opportunity to begin to listen to your body and your body's needs, and to become more embodied, more sensitive to the body's needs. So coming back to center here, and making sure when we come back to center, we want to have a sense of the sit bones rooting down, the pelvis and the hips are neutral, the spine is long. And sometimes when we move on one side or the other, it can throw us out of alignment. So just being careful that we come back into alignment. Good. We're just going to extend now the one of our legs. So I'm going to extend the right leg away. And then the other leg extends away. We do that very gently, making sure that you're extending through the heel. Extending through the heel. So we feel that length all along the back of the leg. We feel that length, and maybe you feel the muscles being stretched and opened. And we do the same thing on the other side. Very nice. Good. And from here, I'm just going to take the left leg. And now this might be uncomfortable for some of you. So if this is uncomfortable to come all the way up to the thigh, we can just place it under, so the left heel just under the knee. Just moving over in that direction. Okay, so there's lots of choices. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So taking the right heel and placing it somewhere along the calf for a moment or two, or we can lift it all the way up and begin to just extend it away. So everybody's body is different. Some things will be more comfortable one day and less comfortable another day. So it's really discovering how you feel on any given day. We're gradually moving up the body a little bit. We're going to come to the hips now, and just taking a couple of hip circles, both hips together this time. So I'm moving in one direction, and then I'm going to move in another direction. Again, you want the action to come in the hips. They can be little or they can be large circles, just depending on what's right for you and your body. So coming back to center. And we're just going to begin to pay attention now to the front of the body, to the chest. So quite often there's a sense of collapse in the chest. Lots of us are looking at phones, we're looking forward. So we want to have this sense of openness in the chest. We want to be able to open and elongate these muscles in the front of the body and allow these muscles at the back of the body, which sometimes are overly lengthened, to shorten. Okay, so we're going to take our hands out to the sides now and bend at the elbow and have your palms of your hands facing away from you. And then we're just going to allow the hands to drop down toward the ground. So your fingertips are pointing toward the ground. So we're bending at the elbows here. So we're working into the elbow joints. Inhaling, lifting up, palms face away from us, and exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, releasing down. One more like this. Inhaling, lifting all the way up, and exhaling, releasing all the way down. You might hear lots of clicky noises in the shoulders, and releasing and coming back to center. Like I said, making sure the hips are center, the spine is long, the collarbones are open. Good. We're going to take our hands now and place them on our shoulder head. So our fingers are pointing towards our necks. And we're going to inhale here and bring the elbows toward each other. And then create a big circle as we take the elbows round, away, down, and back into center. So inhaling, opening, creating a circle here. Shoulder blades come together down the back, and then inhaling, meeting at the center here, and then we go back the way we came. So inhaling as we take the elbows behind us, all the way up and all the way back to center. Inhaling, elbows come back, all the way up and back again to center. Lovely. Paying attention to the head now. And so we're going to allow the chin to come toward the chest. Okay, so taking care that the back of the neck is not being overly stretched here. The chin comes towards the chest. And then we're going to pay attention to the left ear and allow the left ear, I'm mirroring you, left ear comes toward the left shoulder. So the right shoulder can just pull away from the right ear. So we're creating length all the way along the right side. Okay, so bring our head now to look toward the ceiling. Looking up. Maybe looking all the way up if that's comfortable for you, but it may not be. And then coming all the way around. And then we have the right ear coming toward the right shoulder. And so the left shoulder is pulling away from the left ear. And coming all the way back to center. I'm going to invite you now to just take a couple of circles in your own time, because this is a very personal thing. It's going to adjust the camera a little bit so you can see me fully. So we're doing circles all the way around. And making sure you reverse the direction. And being really slow and careful, because lots of us carry a lot of tension around the shoulder and the neck area. Coming all the way back to center. I'm going to do a fun exercise now that's called the teacups. So we're going to imagine that we're holding our hands are going to be flat, and we're going to imagine we have a cup full of tea in each of our hands. And then I'm going to take my left hand out to the side. So my right hand comes to center with my cup of tea in the center. Left hand comes out to the side, holding the cup. And we're going to just turn it all the way around, facing the ceiling. Facing the ceiling. So we're getting huge amount of movement in the shoulder. You can probably feel this. And coming all the way back to center. Don't forget to breathe. Sometimes when we concentrate, we forget to breathe. So we're breathing deeply and fully as we take the right hand out. So the left hand is back to center with the palm flat as we take the left hand around. So we'll just do that one more time. Sorry, the right hand comes back to center and the left hand comes out. Both palms facing up. And we come all the way back around. And then out to the side with the right hand. Palms facing up. And the idea is that you don't want to drop any of the tea. I think I've dropped some tea. But anyway, coming back to center. And now you can release both hands. Good. That's a fabulous exercise to get mobility into the shoulder joints. We're going to take our hands into prayer now. So bringing the hands together and each finger touching. And then we're going to bring our prayer to our chest and our thumbs touch our sternum. And we just open through the front and the back of the body. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Breathing in to a count of 4 and out to a count of 4. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and softly out. 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and again softly out. 4. Softly breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and softly breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Lovely. I'm going to ask you to bring your hands now to behind your back. So you might want to adjust your seat a little. So we have a couple of options here. We can hold opposite elbow. So taking your arms behind your back. So it might be enough for you to hold opposite elbows. So you're opening through the chest. Front of the body is open. And the back of the body is open. So we're going to breathe here. Another option, so you can stay here if you want, you can take your hands into prayer, but you can have your prayer facing downwards. So the prayer is facing downwards here. Another option is to have your prayer behind your back, but this time have your prayer facing upwards. Okay. So depending on the length of your arms and how you feel today, this might be quite challenging for you. If it is, simply come back to holding opposite elbows, or you can even just make 2 gentle fists and have the fists meet each other at the back. The main aim is to open the front of the body. You can probably feel that wherever you are. So just take a couple of breaths here. And then gently releasing the arms. So I'm going to take my left hand and stretch it away and bend at the left elbow so the lower arm is kind of dangling behind my back. And then the right arm is going to bend at the elbow. I'm going to take it behind my back, and I'm going to see if my hands can meet. Now, they can't actually meet, feeling quite stiff at the moment. So just taking elbows away from each other is enough. So don't worry about trying to make the hands clasp or meet. If you want, you can hold on to your top, your sweater. And we can always do this with a yoga tie or just a regular scarf or a tie. You can hold one end in your hand and clasp the other end in your arm. The main thing, like I said, is opening the front of the body. So you want your neck not to be leaning forward. You want your neck to be long. Elbows stretching and opening away from each other and softly releasing. We do the same thing on the other side. The other side might be completely different. So stretching up, opening up the whole right-hand side of the body, and then bending as you exhale the right arm. So the upper arm is dangling down the back, and then the left arm comes round, and you see, oh, maybe they meet, maybe they don't. And it doesn't matter where your arms are. We just want to create this openness in the front of the body. Arms, the elbows are lengthening away from each other. The neck feels free. You can say no with your neck. You can nod yes with your neck, so the neck is free. We're opening up the area under the armpits here, which is quite nice as well. And slowly releasing and letting go. So coming back to a seated Tadasana. This is our mountain pose, but we're seated. So we're connecting earth with sky. The base of our body is our foundation, and we want a firm and rooted foundation so that we can rise up, lift up, feel expansive and open and spacious. From here, we're going to do a little cat-cow exercises, seated, of course. So we're going to maybe take our arms out to the sides, and we're going to inhale and just kind of open the chest, open the heart, and we're going to curve our spine so that our heart is lifting, our shoulders are coming back, our arms are coming out to the sides. We're rooting down with our sit bones and our pelvis. And so you might begin to notice a kind of a rounded, gentle curve in the spine. So looking up if that's possible, but only if it's possible. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands toward each other, the chin to the chest, and we bring the spine into the opposite position. Inhale, opening. Lifting our heart, lifting our chest, lifting our gaze, and exhaling. Creating a C shape with the spine. Inhaling, opening. And exhaling, softly releasing. Chin to chest. And then we come back to stillness, back to our seated mountain pose. And we're going to do a little twist here. So we're going to twist over to the right hand side. So we're going to place the right hand, the base of the chair, or just behind your chair. That's easier. And we're going to take the left hand and place it on the outside of the right leg. And we're just going to bring the belly button round toward the right side and maybe look over the right shoulder a little bit. We're not twisting too far. And then we're going to take our head and look over the left shoulder. Coming back to center, unwinding gently. Take an inhalation here, lengthening through the spine, taking the left hand to the base of the chair or to behind you, to the back of the chair, And then as you exhale, bring the right hand to the outside of the left leg, somewhere along it. And then almost bringing your belly button round. Just imagine you're bringing your belly button round to face your lifted leg. So we're taking the twist into the lumbar spine and looking, maybe sending your glance over your left shoulder. And then taking your head and bringing your chin toward your right shoulder. We're getting a counter stretch in the neck. And then coming all the way back to center. And we'll just do a little lateral side bending. I'm just going to shift and centralize again to make sure that I'm back in a grounded and rooted position. So I'm going to take my right hand to the base of my chair. My left hand extends away, and it can extend up or maybe over a little bit. So making sure that both of your hips and your pelvis are neutral. So your left hip might want to lift up, so you want to kind of almost have a sense of gluing it down. So we're getting the opening all along the left side of the body here. And coming back to central. Same thing on the other side. So this time the left hand comes to the base of the chair, and the right arm extends away as you inhale. And as you exhale, you're coming over to the right hand side, maybe looking up if it's okay for your neck, and coming back to center. And then we're just going to come and lean forward, so bending out your hips, and you can take your hands on your thighs if you like, or you can hold opposite elbows, and we're just going to lean forward. The back of the neck is long, and we want to elongate the spine as we come forward. Elongating the spine, stretching it forward. And all the way back up, slowly and carefully. We come back to stillness. Always back to stillness. We take 2 or 3 breaths here, just noticing how we feel. Noticing our breath, noticing sensations and feelings in the body. What it feels like to be sitting here, having done some movement, having stretched and opened and mobilized our joints. Thank you for joining me.